Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Web3 Pulse with the Crypto Evangelist. Good to be here. It's good to be live with you wherever you are. Today, we are going to be exploring the crypto space as we normally do. The past 24 hours has been very, very crazy with the crypto market showing signs of dip, just a short term dip. We're going to look into everything, and we're also going to explore what's causing this dip. We're also going to look at some of the news. We're going to do our market watch as always. We're also going to do a review into Kaito as we normally do. We're also going to explore different aspects of the crypto ecosystem. And I remain your host, the crypto evangelist. I look forward to taking you into the world of crypto. We're going to be exploring how how it's working, just to see what's happening in the crypto space. We're going to be looking at the ecosystem. I'll also be looking forward to your chats in the chat section. We'll definitely have a few conversation about what's happening in the world of crypto. And if you are enjoying uh the crypto evangel the Web3 Pulse, you can also let me know so that we're able to go into all of it together. We're able to look at what's happening in the crypto space, and we're able to explore everything together. So let's get it on. Let's look at what's happening in crypto. Today, we have a very interesting thing in the crypto space. I think I'm having okay. Today is a very interesting one in crypto. Sorry for the blackout that just happened. I think my camera just went off a bit. So we would be talking about red day for crypto BTC thanks to 103K. I'm sure that it's been a very trying day for the crypto space recently. The price of Bitcoin dipped suddenly yesterday. Like what started as a positive day for crypto markets quickly reversed during the US session, with Bitcoin BTC sliding below 103K from 106,500 levels just hours earlier. Yesterday, I did a video, a live talking about price of Bitcoin hitting 105K. But as of today, the crypto market has dipped. We saw a price of Bitcoin going to 103,200, down 1.2% over the past 24 hours. There has also been a dip from other large cryptocurrencies like Ethereum, which saw a sharp drop of 4.5% within this period of time to as low as $2,300. Trading volumes spiked to nearly 800,000 ETH, and according to CoinDex data, this is nearly 8 times the average hourly volume. And the volatility burst caught many traders off guard. If you're into trading of crypto, you know that when there is sharp volatility like that, derivative traders, that's traders that trade futures, options, margins, they tend to have suffer a lot of losses, especially when it's not really expected. And you could see that so many traders suffered significant losses. We are seeing that the volatility burst caught many traders off guard, with many liquidating about 450 million in derivative tradings. Positions on centralized exchanges across all digital assets showed this high liquidation, and some 387 million of the liquidation were tied to long positions that bet on profiting from rising prices. So basically, when you talk about long in crypto, when you are talking about longing, you are looking at people that are betting that the prices of the cryptocurrencies are going to go up. They are the ones that tend to get liquidated when the market does well, does bad. Why those that bet that short, that saying that the price of the cryptocurrency will go down, are the ones that benefit more during during this liquidation process, but they lose when the market does well. And part of the reasons why we can see this is because of the macro risks that still exist due to the conflict between Israel and Iran. And there was no immediate external reason for the sudden price swing. The S&P 500 and the Nasdaq 100 index, which are index funds that track the prices of companies, especially tech or the top 500 to 1,000 companies, only inch lower during the day. And we can see that according to some discussions from experts, we can see that there is a mixed view on whether Bitcoin will go above 100, 110K, or it will drop into the 90K era psychological barrier. I really don't see the price of Bitcoin dipping that bad into 90K. What we are likely to see is it's going to be hovering around this region until it's able to find its pricing, and we would be able to know whether the price of Bitcoin is really like the way it will hover around that mark. So that's what I expect, that the price of Bitcoin will definitely hover around that psychological barrier, where we can see that there's going to be a lot of discussions about it. We are going to see a lot of conversations about it. We are going to see many people like talking about Bitcoin, saying that we could see market sentiments going down about the token. We could actually see some people discussing and saying that they believe that Bitcoin could hit specific milestones. We could, we could, we could, we could also see the market showing a bit of volatility, and we I won't be surprised. I won't be surprised if the price of Bitcoin hits the 98 to 97K mark before we see a sudden spike in the price of Bitcoin going up. So that's one of the things that I believe is likely to happen in the next few hours, because we've seen the market liquidation go up and down. There's this kind of move. There's a system that is really like testing the price of Bitcoin, and that's one of the major things that we've seen in the last 24 hours. Another second news is more or less about talking about BTC ignoring global VIX derivations points to drop. So this one is just more on about on-chain data, where you can see that Bitcoin, this is from CoinDex, just exploring what what has been happening in the crypto ecosystem. So basically, would it's just a review of what is happening in the crypto space, whereby we can see that the geopolitical tensions remain elevated in the Middle East. We are seeing Israel and Russia and Iran, sorry, having direct attacks with each other, and we are saying that the prices of Bitcoin has been trading within a psychological barrier of 100,000. Just like what I said, when you look at the price of Bitcoin, it's showing us that that indecision by the market, with the market looking at what's happening in the Middle East. We have also seen that the Fed, which is the US Central Bank or Reserve Bank, has signaled slower economic growth, with the GDP now expected to rise just 1.4% this year, down from 1.7%. And they are also predicting higher inflation. So we are most likely going to see what is going to happen in the next few months um before the next interest rate decision, which is always huge when you talk about the prices of cryptocurrencies, and it's usually huge when we talk about us looking at what could potentially happen in the market, because we know that the US market tends to tends to drive the cryptocurrency markets in general. So we could see some moves in that aspect. Our third news for today is XRP, Solana, and Shiba Inu set for major move. So this is from Crypto Potato. It's just more or less like some analysts suggesting that the price of these meme coins could have major moves. So you can see the largest meme coins in terms of capitalization, which is Dogecoin, has experienced little to no volatility in recent days. You can see that the price, according to this analysis, has remained within the 0.16 cents to 18 cents range. And according to popular trader analyst Ali Martinez, the consolidation may soon be followed by significant turbulence, thinking he asserted that Dogecoin could experience a 60% price move. As of yesterday, when I did the analysis, Dogecoin was down about 20% in the last 1 month. And I remember saying that we could see some moves from Dodge father Elon Musk, some announcements. We could see some developments for Dodge. But from what Crypto Potato is saying, if there's a bullish scenario, Dogecoin could surge to around 35 cents, which would be its highest level since January this year. Conversely, a 60% drop would drag the meme coin below the $0.1 mark. And we can see some of the factors. We are seeing the Dogecoin net flow from CoinGlass is showing that Dogecoin Fear and Greed Index has moved to neutral territory after being in the greed zone earlier this month. And if you look at the Fear and Greed Index, when the market is in the greed zone, that means we are seeing investors holding and reflecting growing optimism. Just that when people are greedy, it's better to be fearful, and when people are fearful, it's better to be greedy. That's the famous words of Warren Buffett, right? So we can see that it's in the neutral zone, showing us that investors are not really like holding that way. Solana has also shown potentials and also XRP. We are going to go deeper into them within our market watch, which is the period whereby we go into what's happening in the crypto markets. During our market watch, we explore what's happening in crypto. We do a bit of a market analysis, looking at the trends. We also do our Kaito and Cookie.fun watch. For those that don't know about Kaito and Cookie.fun, they are they are InfoFi platforms, and InfoFi platforms have become the hottest thing since sliced bread. We've seen a lot of InfoFi platforms. They've transformed the way we talk about engagement. They've also transformed the way we look at the prices of tokens, because now we are looking at those prices based on their mind share. So mind share is the share of that a project has online, and this is very important in our analysis, because when we look at what's happening in the crypto ecosystem, we have to be able to see how social sentiment is either driving how social sentiment is driving the the mind share of these projects. So that's one of the things that has developed in the crypto ecosystem in recent months, the mind share, cookie 3, and all that. So we're going to also take a peek into that in our market watch, just to see what's happening. We're going to explore how these my markets are being affected by it. So let's um let's quickly get into it and look at what's happening in the crypto market. So if you look at what's happening in this coin market cap, we're trying to see prices. We can see that in the last 24 hours, if I filter by this, you see that say SCI has had the biggest moved by 12% within this period. You can see that apart from SCI within the top 100 that is in double digits, none of the other tokens are in double digits. So they've been a lot of huge market sentiments towards SCI or say in the past 24 hours. And we can see Fatcoin is down 11%. We can see Virtuals is down. Dodge, which had the meme coin on the Solana ecosystem, is down. WorldCoin is also down. And we can, looking at the regular price, we can like just do a bit of exploration. Earlier we spoke about Dogecoin, and we can look at, when we look at the chart of Dogecoin, looking at this 1 day chart, can see that we had some green moves earlier in the day, but now the price of Dogecoin has gone to about $0.159, or less than less than that, not 15 cents. Yeah, that's 15 cents. And Dogecoin is one cryptocurrency that many people just keep on having a lot of bullish market sentiment about in recent days. We also want to explore Cardano. Cardano has actually dropped though. Cardano used to be around the fifth largest coin a few months ago. We know that Cardano, their holders have this love for it, despite the fact that the coin has not really shown too much potentials in terms of price surge beyond this year. We know that beginning of this year, the price of Cardano really pumped massively. So in the 1 year chart, Cardano is definitely up by 52%. But in the last 7 days, Cardano is down about 7.81%, showing the overall sentiment. I think there's a bit of frustration in terms of the development. Some 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 persons are saying that they are not seeing a quicker rate of development for Cardano in terms of the release of its major milestones. Cardano is being built in bits and is one of the oldest cryptocurrency ecosystems. We also look at SUI. It's down about 4% in the last 24 hours. Stellar Lumens, which is the token that decentralized token that wants to do similar things to what XRP is doing. We can see in the last 7 days, the price is down about 5.95%. We've seen a bit of market sentiment like positive towards it recently. And one of the things that you notice in the market is anytime there is a price surge in XRP, we're likely to see a price surge in Stellar Lumens because Stellar Lumens is more like the decentralized version of XRP if you look at it. And Shiba Inu, the leading meme coin in the Ethereum ecosystem, is also hovering 19th, and Litecoin closes the top 20 coins. We can always see the privacy coin Monero around here. It's one of the few coins that it's in the positive light, about 1.85%, which is not surprising because sometimes when we see the markets going down, many investors prefer like just using Monero to just swap their cryptocurrencies. And most times when we see markets like this, we tend to see some slight spikes towards Monero. Polkadot is another token that is interesting. I actually have a kind of vested interest in it because it's one token that I've always explored and seen as a decent token, even though it has not really been able to achieve what I thought it would have achieved by now. But we all know that it's a token with a lot of fundamentals, great fundamentals. And looking at the 7 day chart, is down almost 10%. And if you look at its all-time high is about $55, which was achieved 4 years ago. So despite the market spikes that we've seen in 2023, in 2024, in 2025, Polkadot has not really been able to achieve its all-time highs of 4 years ago. So to many holders, it's more or less like a token that has underperformed within this period of time. So it's one interesting token. I just like the staking rewards of about 15%. But as my friend would say, what's the benefit of staking rewards when the token is down badly? So some people will just look at the staking rewards that it's not really worth it to them. Some people will look at the staking rewards that staking rewards is as good as useless when the price of the token is badly down. But to some other people, they might actually look at it as that it's you get a bit of like benefits from Polkadot if you're able to like stake, get a lot of like people to get a lot of people to like join, to have a lot of market sentiment for the token. We could we could probably see a decent spike in Polkadot in the coming days. I've not really lost too much hope for it because it has very, very great fundamentals. All that is just remaining for Polkadot is for the token to be able to like achieve some of the things that is meant to achieve, that many people have that aspirations for it about. So we might see changes in that level. So let's go to our Yapa leaderboard. Let's look at what is happening on Kaito. So when we think of the things that is happening on Kaito, it's just better for us to be able to see what is on Kaito, right? So looking at the Kaito PTG arena, we can see that Ethos has really seen a surge. Ethos is also like doing something similar to Kaito. So you can see Ethos here. Ethos has had an increase in mind share, like a massive increase in its mind share. And that's it among the top gainers. We can also look at when you look at the Pretty G leaderboard, we are seeing tokens like OG. We see that the Kaito PTG leaderboard continues to increase with many tokens trying to get into Kaito leaderboard, many people yapping about it. And when we go to the yaps, you would see some of the yappers, the yap feeds. We can actually look at what's sort of trending here. I'll just try and see if I can read a bit. So this guy Bob Lucas is bullish about Ethereum. Can see that some people are bullish about different projects. So and I think one place that is quite interesting, if we go back to the PTG arena, we would see that Ethos has really spiked in the last 24 hours to 10%. It was around 3% yesterday. So there's a lot of discussions about it. Its mind share has increased. We have the usual suspects. We have Newton. We have Open Ledger. We have Caldera. We have Pom.Fun, which would always be there. And if we just oppose this to Cookie, one of the things that we can see about cookies in terms of good sentiment, we have Ket, we have TRX, we have XRP. We can also see that a similar sentiment of Newton is also shared on Cookie 3. We can see in the bad sentiment, we can see some of the tokens that have been trending negatively in terms of community sentiment. And in terms of mind share change, you see that Open Ledger, the mind share is about 3.2%. Kaito, you can also see some other tokens that are here. I think one part I like about Cookie.Fun is the voices section. So the voices section gives you like some of the things that the top guys with mindshare are discussing about. Ansen is high on hype. We can see on coin market cap, if we go back, we see that hype is 11th on the coin rankings. We can also see that some tokens that they are high on, we have virtual protocol is one token that has had a lot of like mind share. Many community members are high on virtuals. We also see some people are high on Rect, BTC, Avalanche, Kaito. Obviously, Kaito is trending. We are seeing some good sentiments for Avalanche. And when we check the market, we can see the price of Avalanche. I think Avalanche is 18th. Even though the price is not going very well, but on Cookie 3, we can see that the market sentiment for Avalanche looks decent. And if we go down, we can see that we have good market sentiment for Somnia. Somnia is in its pre-TG stage, so I'm not surprised about that. We also see Solana. Solana will always have that sentiment. For hype and hype, these two KLs, that AI KLs, are talking about hype. That's hyper liquid. That's very like good. We can also look at, if we look at the 1 month, let's look at the 1 month, what has been happening in the past 1 month, which is a larger time frame. We can see virtual hype, Solana, Polkadot. As I said, it's one market that I'm still a bit high on Polkadot, because Polkadot is one ecosystem that I believe has that like massive potentials, even though the price is really down. I feel the price is undervalued, but some people will say that the price is actually in the right place that is meant to be. But looking at what these KOs are, are, are yapping about, what they are talking about, we can see that many of them are high on the major players like Bitcoin. They are high on Hype, Solana, Avalanche. Not we can also see Ethereum. We can see Abstract. We can see OpenSea. So Cookie.Fun and Kaito gives us that breakdown that we can analyze what the community sentiments are about particular tokens. And that's one of the reasons why it is quite useful when you think about it, because it gives us that ability to be able to know and analyze what's happening in the market. We can be able to look at a coin pumping and we can say, okay, this is part of the reasons why it's pumping. There's good sentiment about it. There's huge market discussions about it. Like there's that upturn of people talking about it. So we can easily know that this is the reason why we are seeing such such development. And it's quite interesting when you think about it, because when you think about what 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 the ecosystem is bringing out, it's quite interesting when you think about it, because it's easy for us to know that the market is moving in a certain direction. There is there is this like hype about the market that we we can easily like talk about. We can easily understand how it works. We're able to know that, okay, this is the sentiment about the market. This is what the market is saying. This is the direction that people are going. We can just easily know that based on Kaito and based on Cookie 3. I think I really have like a lot of positive things to really bring out from it, because when you look at um, how the market is going, we know that there is a significant dip. But when you look at the discussions that people are having about a particular coin, it's easy for us to know that, okay, despite the fact that this dip is sort of temporary, we can easily deduce which markets are showing like potentials, which market is just having that dip temporarily. So that's all about our market watch, and then we move into a session that I really and the session is we are going into our token spotlight. Token spotlight is one session that we really love because it makes us to dive deep into it. And token spotlight is sponsored by FS Crypto News. FS Crypto News is one of the top cryptocurrency news platform. You get market analysis, you get price analysis, you're able to see the latest prices in the market. Just for you to search fscryptonews.com, you are able to get the latest news. I always use them for my market analysis, and I also enjoy the different pegs that they have on the website. You can easily gauge market sentiment, and you can also get some of the prices online. Just rather than going to coin market cap, they have a very nice interface whereby you can get the latest news, and you can be able to like get your crypto world moving on, can easily analyze things, and you can easily get what you want to do. So today we are going to be talking about a very interesting token, which is our market spotlight for today, and that's injective protocol. We Some people call it injective protocol. Injective is a very popular cryptocurrency, is a popular blockchain protocol, and one of the beauty about it is that it is built for decentralized finance, and is the world's first that natively supports other book-based DEX. And it was launched in 2018 by Injective Labs and incubated by Binance Labs. One of the beauty of injective protocol is it's quite old. It was built pre 2020 hype, and it was launched in 2018. It's powered by the Cosmos SDK and Tendermint's proof of stake. Injective enables cross-chain margin and derivative trading, sports markets and futures, all with fast finality, zero gas fees, and other book transparencies. And some of the things that you would see about injective protocol is its strengths. One of its strengths is majorly its order book decks. We know that injective protocol allows like fast execution with zero gas fees, which is very huge, which is one of the things that makes it like quite popular, and is ideal for traders that want control and efficiency. Another thing about injective protocol is its cross-chain interoperability. That's the ability to for it to bridge different blockchains, which is very huge. It can bridge assets between Ethereum, Cosmos, and others, allowing broader DeFi usage. It has a staking and governance feature, which is to be expected, whereby users can secure its network by staking. They can also vote on upgrades and protocol parameters. Some people don't really look at that governance as something huge, but it's also part of decentralization. That's part of the things that we say makes a cryptocurrency decentralized, right? Another thing is advanced trade execution coordinator. It has a built-in delay mechanism that prevents front running, ensuring fairness, and it has its derivative and crypto finance tools, which supports margin trading, prep futures, and synthetic trading assets. So let's get into uh, our specialized session. Remember, it's sponsored by FS Crypto News. So this is the injective price chart in the last 24 hours. You can see that the price of injective is slightly down, similar to what we can see in the general market sentiment, right? With the price of injective going, showing the general crypto sentiment with the price going down, and we can see that in the last 7 days it has hovered within the $11 to $12 mark, and unsurprisingly we are likely to see like some good sentiments from injective. And then let's look at what the overall community sentiment is, because that is quite important when you think of it, right? Because one of the things that you look at when you are looking at community sentiment is what is what is the community saying about it, like what is the overall market sentiment for injective. And one of the things that we can look at when we talk about the community sentiment is what how is like what are the community saying about it. And when we look at it, the community sentiment for injective, it's quite positive. You can see that we have 86% bullish and 14% bearish, right? So the market sentiment is high for injective. There's a lot of high opinion from the market. Many people are believing in holding it. There is this surge towards holding, and that's a general feel for most of the crypto markets. We can actually see that that is quite like general. There's this push for most of the top tokens. There's really no fretting in this market. We've seen that the market has been like many holders have been dedicated towards holding their traditional tokens that would see them hold. So I'm not surprised that the market is saying that. Another important aspect of the market that we can also use to gauge most times beyond just the community gauging is the fear and greed index, right? That gives us a kind of indication of what the market is. And when we look at the fear and greed index, we can see that the fear and greed index is neutral. So that is letting us know that despite the fact that the community sentiment is high, many traders or market investors are indecisive at the moment. Because normally, if if the bullish sentiment from the community is being shown by traders, we're likely to see the greed index swaying towards greed. And if the market is very bad and there's sentiments that it could go worse, we would see the greed index moving towards like fear. But here we can see that the fear and greed index is actually um neutral, which shows that there is really no, like, the market is telling you that the traders are telling you that they are indecisive about injective protocol. Like, they are really indecisive about it. So that's tricky, because as a market holder, you are trying to look at what's happening, right? And that's where Kaito and Cookie.fun have changed things, because we have two major analysis that traders use. We have the fundamental analysis and we have the technical analysis, as we all know, which is one of the things that we tend to like check for, right? But when you think about it, when you are having this kind of sentiment, it can be confusing a bit, because you are getting the market, the fear and greed index is in the middle. So that to me, and it's showing 47, which is slightly moving towards the fear part, because fear is red, greed is around green to blue. So the market sentiment for injective, it's quite indifferent. So for holders, it depends on the way the market is moving in the next few days. So the way the market moves in the next few days is going to determine how positive the market sentiment is for people that are looking to scalp and make gains. And then we move over to the top injective ecosystem tokens, right? And when we talk about these, are the tokens that are largely used in injective. We know it's built on the Cosmos Atom ecosystem, but we can see that it has been taken up a lot by FET, that's FET, which is the AI coin. Chainlink obviously is number one because Chainlink is the Oracle network, which helps in bringing off-chain data. So Chainlink would definitely be among the highest, and Injective's native token is also like there in terms of like the pricing. So those are like the top tokens there. And then another thing that we are going to look at beyond the top tokens is we are going to try to see the top projects in the injective ecosystem. And when we are looking at some of the top projects, we are looking at projects like projects like Helix. We also have Tails protocol. We have front end. These are some of the top projects in the injective like ecosystem, where we also have Astroport. Astroport is an EMM style project, and EMM means like a project. When you talk of EMM projects, you're talking about projects that DeFi projects. Well, we also have Tails protocol. Tails protocol is an NFT marketplace and is one of the top injective is one of the top injective ecosystem projects. And we also have Frontrunner, which is a decentralized sports prediction marketplace, almost similar to what's the name of this popular one? No, Poly marketplace, but it's just for sports. And we also have some other ecosystem projects like Helix. We know Helix. Helix is the most popular one, which is a decentralized order book exchange system. I've used it before. It's quite good. Astroport is also good. It's originally from Terra Luna, the defunct project, but now um it's now multi-chain and it has been bridged to injective ecosystem. Another thing too that we need to also look at is the market sentiment. What are the market sentiments? When you look at some of the market sentiments, we are looking at what people are saying on Twitter. We know Twitter is the home of crypto. We can see Elna saying already in profit for some injective. Web3 Princess says all I wanted is Oseko is injective. The injective ecosystem is booming. The community vibes are high. While other teams are building with the same four employees, the injective protocol has grown exponential from a small startup to a whole squad of ninjas. Unsurprisingly, the market sentiment is quite high, and it's not really surprising for us to see the market sentiment being high because it's a project that has like massive potentials when you think about it. And I'm also going to also like just post I'm going to show a chart about injective protocol, showing you some of the top ecosystems there, so that many people can just see how like some of the things that make the injective ecosystem a very wonderful ecosystem to a certain level. So when you look at these charts, you can see that the injective ecosystem is it has a lot of things. We have alliance block. I know it might be a bit difficult to see some of these things, but I'll just try to zoom in a bit. You can see that its ecosystem is quite extensive. You have the apps and tooling part, where we have pro- protocols that are building on injective protocol. We also have apps on injective EVM. We have TimeSwap. We have Interport Finance. Obviously, we see that if you look at infrastructure, we're looking at protocols that have bridge. We have Avalanche, Algorand. We have Conflux, the Chinese-based project. We have Near Protocol. We also have Osmosis. We have Solana, bridge to injective protocol. We have Hyperlane. We have some of the top tokens like Katesi is also here. Analytics protocol. These are sorry about that. These are protocols that you can use to analyze injective ecosystem. We have Injective Explorer. We have Smart Stake Analytics. Dex Screener can also be used for those that are the gens. The Filama also works for if you're trying to do on-chain analysis. There are also featured apps like Helix. These are apps that are built on injective protocol or that have been bridged to injective protocol. We can see Astroport, we can see Levana protocol. So injective protocol is one ecosystem that has a lot of like development on it. We also have institutions that have invested in it or have interest in it, like Binance Labs, Coinbase institution. Like it's an ecosystem that is really well developed, and we have exchanges that currently supports the token like Binance, BitGet. We have you'd see that there are a lot of huge potentials about the injective protocol. So it's not really surprising that we have that we have that about injective protocol, that we are seeing a lot of development in that way for injective protocol. And when we go to coin market cap, we try to just see injective just to explore how what what the project is about. We would see that injective, I think last time I checked this, it should be in the top, should be in the top 50. Yeah, yeah, injective should be in the top 50 protocol. Yeah, this is injective, yeah. So we've done it. Okay, is in the top 100. It's ranked 62nd. I even feel it's still undervalued because when you check of the price, you check on on the current price 10.47, you'd see that it is undervalued to a certain level, and you can see that it's it's one ecosystem. Um, and when you look at everything, it has like a major ecosystem. It's showing a lot of potentials and all that. So so when so it's quite important that we have all of these like showing and all that. So it's when you have when you have all that, is it's very like important to note that the injective protocol is one ecosystem that has a lot of potentials, and it's one token that I'm going to really put on my watch list. So that's it about our token spotlight. We've been able to explore injective protocol. We've been able to like look at the other parts in the crypto space. Thanks to our sponsors, FS Crypto News, one more time for sponsoring this part. We really appreciate their sponsorship because it's one of the things that makes us to continue and support this channel, both on YouTube here. We also go live on TikTok. We go live on Instagram. Um, a review of today, we've spoken about the price of Bitcoin tanking to 103K. We've also looked at XRP. We've done our market watch, checked Kaito. We've also checked Cookie.fun. We've also had our token spotlight, which is injective, and it's been a pleasure. I can see some of the charts with someone saying like we have also looked at the charts. Hopefully, we should be able to be live properly on TikTok by next week so that we can have more people come in, more people like talk about, ask questions, and we're able to like have that kind of interaction on the live. And it's very important that we're able to get continue to like spread the gospel of the crypto. We're able to like tell people what is happening in the crypto space, and it's quite important that we share this. You can share this link to your friends to watch after this. And as I always say, have a great day and cheers. Until we see tomorrow, by God's grace, have a blessed weekend and continue to stay focused, continue to stay in crypto, and continue to stay based.